Good morning to you from Portugal. Carl Munson here with a Comeback to Life recording, and prompted by thoughts I've had recently that I would love to have a radio station or a podcast I could listen to that just reminds me that life is good, that takes me right back to the basics. And the closest I've been able to find is my beloved teacher, spiritual teacher, Barry Long, and listening to him is great. He's dead now, and that's been for some years. So I'm listening to old recordings. I know he's got a new book out as well called Right Meditation. And for me, he's on the money. Oh, and the panting you can hear here is I'm out with the two dogs and just made ourselves a little seat in the bushes. Wanted to make a recording, found a little spot, and you'll hear the dogs panting and scrattling around. Jimmy, do you want to say hello? There you go. And you'll hear workmen in the distance and the birds sing. It's a beautiful morning here in Portugal. And in the absence of... Oh, there you go, dog noises. In the absence of something I can tune into that reminds me that life is good, I'm going to have to be the change I want to see in the world and be that myself. Maybe I'll have to listen to myself when I become forgetful and just tune in literally to my own revelations of well-being, which is what I want to share with you this morning, and remind you that the only thing that really matters is your connection to well-being, which might take a little bit of explaining. It might not. You might just get it and be glad of the reminder. You might be very connected already and just a little bit curious what Munson's talking about and what this come back to life thing is. You might already be back to life, as it were, which is how I put it. And how good it is to just be alive once we've taken care of all the dull cares of the world. And I part of my, what would it be, push or interest in having somewhere to go that points me back into my imminent well-being, the source of goodness, whatever you want to call it. And we can only really, in conversation, use words that point in that direction. No word, no description is adequate. But it's a good start. It's a good start to be reminded and to be guided. For me, as much as anyone, I would say, to the place of peace and ease and joy and glory and love. The great, great states, the beautiful, peaceful states of being that can only be referred to and described with words, and only you know if you are there in this minute right now enjoying that state. And I'm grateful to my animals here because they seem to be untroubled and just attending to their most basic needs of being. And what they don't seem to have, as much as we humans are capable of, is the ability to be in the state of ease and joy and freedom and glory and love. And we humans can look on that state. We can be self-conscious of that state and revel in it in the way that the animals are just seem to be having a momentary, intrinsic experience without the self-reflection. But anyway, that's more of a philosophical quandary question, and it's not important right now. It's just saying it to illustrate the point that we can, as human beings, not only be in the good, but we can see that we're being in the good and have a beautiful, is it the word recursive, but a reflective sense of, oh my goodness, this is it, this is beautiful, this is it, this is happening now. Oh, thank you. And how about we do that now then? So I've got two dogs tied to my foot. I've made a little space under a bush, and I'm sat in the shade out of the developing heat here in Portugal. And for me, it's an easier situation than other situations I find myself in, or I imagine others to be in. It's a good start to connect with the goodness inside and come back to life. So I'm letting my shoulders drop, and I'm feeling more and more of it. I'm feeling the reality of the good in my body, and that's what I hope for you. That's what I urge you to do as well. That's what this is about. And if you're getting a sense of revelation or deepening, then this might be good. It might be good to stick around. If you're getting a sense of irritation, of annoyance, or you want to think about everything I'm saying, I don't think this is the thing. There are plenty of... It seems to me the man-made world is so full of ways of pulling us out of our true goodness, our true nature. Constant encouragement, invitation to be out of our good and to be thinking and to be worrying, and constant draws on our attention. I don't want to be another one of those. I want to be an encourager, an enabler of coming back to life in the sense that I mean it. So stick around if that's happening for you. And do it now. This isn't philosophy. This isn't talking about it. This is me talking to you now, being aware of my own deepening sense of that state and connection right now as I'm talking to you. And I might listen to this recording again if I get lost and think, yeah, I'm helping myself get back into pure life, pure good, pure being, and how good that is. The bliss, the wind in the trees, the birds singing, even the insect crawling across my hand. Just untroubled, unbridled, unaffected, unadulterated, just being here now. Thank you, life. And it doesn't have to be... clear your throat if you need to. It doesn't have to be all meditative and spiritually correct. This state is, I think, encouraged by all those postures and rituals. And also it's worth noting that the state of the quietly ecstatic state of being can be enjoyed in the midst of much busyness. Some of our fellow humans have even realised the ecstatic state of being in the most horrific of circumstances. Now, I don't wish that on anyone, but suffice to say, it seems to be possible. Because it's about where you're putting it seems to be about where you're putting your attention and your consciousness or your awareness. It's about what's going on with the inner machinery rather than outer circumstance. And here we are, in a world, as I speak, in June of 2024, in a world so full of itself, full of its problems, full of invitations to be miserable and conflicted and partial and separate. It is the idiocy of our times, and we don't need to be a part of that for any more than is absolutely necessary. So let's do that now. Shoulders dropping. Breathing is conscious and easy. And the focus, the tightness on specific things. It's a good sign, isn't it? I can't even speak properly now. The focus on specificity is easing. And we're in our soundscape, aware of it, but without being drawn into it. Maybe the same with the thoughtscape. Things are popping up like little thought farts, and they can just waft away, go on their way. Don't need to be engaging in it right now. We're savouring and not suffering right now. That's our choice, isn't it? To savour or to suffer. Savouring for me, please. Savoury and sweet. The real dolce vita. In Portugal here, the vida boa. So enough chat. I wish for you this peace. I know that only you can do it for yourself. Be easy. Remember, come back to life whenever you can. Go well.